had a busy week at Colin's Beauty Page Towers, and unfortunately our Gloop hound hasn't been able to get out on the trail and track down any Gloop. But luckily, I found an old sample from a project that we worked on a few years ago where somebody asked us to do a copy of Clinique's Take the Day Off cream. So is this a product you're familiar with, Samantha?
Just like magic, it is. Yes, I'm familiar with this. It's I think it's one of Clinique's top sellers. Very popular in the world of cleansing balms. You've also got another one there, haven't you, Colin?
Yep, that's right. The big competitor to Take the Day Off by Clinique is the Collagen cleansing balm by Elemis. And the third one in the trilogy is the Emma Hardy product, which is quite popular as well, but unfortunately not popular enough for us to have one, so we'll ignore that one for now. We'll just look at the Elemis product and the Clinique product. And did you find out the prices?
This one, the Clinique one, is I think £28 from their website directly for this size, 125 ml.
Okay, that's a big chunky jar.
This is really big. This is like bigger than average size jar that you would normally buy for a cleansing balm. The one you're holding is more expensive.
It's woefully inadequate.
I'm pretty sure it was the same price as this for the 50,
okay.
And then it jumps to 200 and it was £80. But I have been seeing more videos of influencers and others online that are very much liking that at the moment, that Elemis. That Collagen is very popular at the moment, so they probably feel they can get away with that price point.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the mass market one first, though. If you consider £28 for a makeup remover mass market, I think it is actually. I think people would pay that kind of money reasonably freely for that kind of product.
I feel like we have moved away from the usable makeup wipes. We've definitely moved away from them. I feel like we moved towards micellar waters for a long time. I think a lot of people do still use them, but we moved definitely towards these oil-based products, especially these balms. We really have. So I do think, people will pay £28.
Yeah, and the reality is, if you want to remove makeup, using oil is far and away the best way to do it in terms of just getting the stuff off your face. Micellar waters are great, but they don't have the removal power that oils do. And as for the wipes, well, I mean, frankly, they I don't know how well they worked for people in general, but I never found they did very much for me. And of course, with a wipe, you're applying a aqueous-based product full of surfactant, which inevitably tends to be a bit damaging to the skin, and then you're following that up with some nice hard cellulose-based tissue to really rough your skin up. So basically the makeup removal wipes are beating you up and stealing your lunch money when it comes to your skincare. So I think the move to oil-based ones is better. Obviously, I don't wear makeup as a general rule. I'm not making any judgments on people who do, but it's not my personal lifestyle. But because of my job, I do sometimes wear makeup, and sometimes for quite considerable periods of time on, and I do have to remove it. And the way I get rid of it is using light liquid paraffin, which is the way I find the most effective way of getting stuff off, which of course is oil. And the rule of the way these things work is that the closer the oil is to the oil you're trying to remove, the better it's going to work. The more similar is the better. And traditionally, makeup's been very heavily based on liquid paraffin or close analogues of it. It probably doesn't say it on the ingredient list, but that's the sort of thing where it comes from. So the liquid paraffin is a very obvious choice for makeup removal if you're a chemist. So that's what I tend to use, and it works pretty well. I haven't tried either of these products, unfortunately, to remove makeup, though I have tried both of them on my skin, and they've both got nice skin feels. So let's look at the Clinique one first, and let's have a look at what the Gloop is made up of. The first ingredient is ethyl hexyl palmitate, which is a branched ester. And what do you know about branched esters, Samantha?
Branched ester is what's going to give it the moisturising feel.
Yeah, it's more a silky feel.
The silky feel, yes.
Yeah, the branched esters are typically used in formulations to give that rich feel that makes them feel worth £28. Also makes them a pleasant experience to use. And it's got another advantage in a product like this, in that branched esters are very good at keying in with makeup and removing it. So it's both a pleasant material to use and an effective one for the goal of the product. You've got some safflower seed oil in there as well, and a bit of fractionated coconut oil. So those are basically acting as solvents for the stuff you're trying to remove. You've then got some sorbitol 30 tetraoleate. That is a surfactant, and that's going to be helping to clear the makeup away, and also helping you remove the product itself after you've finished using it, which is quite important. Surfactants often work better in combination, so you'll usually get a better effect from two surfactants working together than one individually. And the next thing on the ingredient list is another surfactant, quite a different surfactant, but having the two together tends to work well. The next one is PEG5 glycerol triisostearate. So I can see very well that those two would work together to both remove the makeup and remove the makeup remover, which is something you also need to do. There's an interesting ingredient in there as well. It's polythene or polyethylene. It's the name on that. And what that does is it helps the product not crystallise over time, because obviously crystals can ruin a product as badly as that horn in the square can ruin a video. And that's one of the differences between natural ingredients and synthetic ingredients. Natural ingredients often have a tendency towards crystallization. The molecules are all the same size, they can line up, they can become ordered, and that you notice by things like balms frosting over with the little white areas which are crystallization. Sometimes they get brittle to the touch and uncomfortable on the skin, and that's why natural products tend to have a relatively short shelf life and often to be inconsistent. They're not the same every time you buy them, and they don't stay the same on your shelf. Synthetic things like polyethylene are what we call amorphous. They don't have anything that really lines up. They're completely disordered, and that's great news for developing a product, because it means that they're not going to form crystals, and this amorphous material is going to interfere with any other crystal forming as well. And that's pretty much what that stuff's in there. It's probably contributing to the viscosity and the skin feel a bit, but its main purpose is to make the product consistent and usable. When you buy a mass market product, you want the same experience every time you buy it, and you want to rely on it, and that's how this is achieved. And there's a few other bits and pieces in there, but frankly the rest is boring, so I'm not going to talk about any more of the ingredients in that. Big contrast between the relatively short ingredient list of the Clinique product, even though it's a very effective product, and the ingredient list for the Elemis product. This is full of stuff. There's loads of gear in here. So the first one is the sweet almond oil, followed by some fractionated coconut oil, and then a range of surfactants and other natural materials. There's no point in going through all of them. Basically, the concept is the same. You've got a blend of oils and surfactants, and that blend is probably going to be pretty effective. And getting down to the bottom of the ingredient list, they've got lots of what we call tip-ins. So you've got sort of flower-based oils and
You
ingredients.
can certainly
and
smell
things like
them,
that.
can't you?
You can.
There definitely has more of a smell in that Elemis product.
So the Elemis product is a much more natural product, and if that's your thing, then maybe it's worth the extra money. I'm probably fooling myself because it's what I expect to see. But I think I can see sort of a bit less of an even appearance to this product compared to the less natural Clinique one. What do you think, Samantha? So when I think there's a sort of there's a certain amount of order you can see in it, even though it's a balm. Can't really put my finger on what I'm describing there, but I think if you'd asked me blind, not knowing which product was which one was the more natural, I think I'd have had no trouble picking out the Elemis product as being the more natural product. And I think most consumers would be able to say the same thing as well. I don't think that's special knowledge that I've got and other people don't have.
Yeah. I feel like I prefer the texture of Elemis. This Clinique one, it looks like it's going to be really hard. It isn't when you glide across, but if you come from the top, it feels hard.
Okay.
This one is it's almost just a slightly jellyish almost, but not, if you know what I mean. But yeah, when you start reading the ingredients, it's natural oil after natural oil that are at the top.
Yeah. So
I think you would think it's more natural just looking at the ingredient list.
yeah, the ingredient list clearly is. I mean, not only is it a very natural ingredient list, they've worked hard to make it natural. So you've got stuff in there like rosy multiflora flower wax. I mean, that's a rose wax. I mean, I've no idea what rose wax brings to a formulation like this in terms of performance. It might contribute a bit to the smell, but it certainly tells the story that this stuff is natural. And yet there is one thing that's rather scientific about it, which is the claim underneath the brand name of being pro-collagen. So I often say to people who are in marketing that the average consumer likes natural and they like science as well. I don't think most people see any particular conflict between the two, and whoever's behind Elemis obviously feels the same, because they've gone big on the natural story for the ingredients, but they've also gone for a fairly scientific story when you talk about being pro-collagen. And the thing that isn't on the ingredient list is collagen.
That was the main thing my thought on it was about this product, because I was looking at the ingredient list thinking there's no collagen, but clearly they're able to call it pro-collagen cleansing balm, because I guess they want to put the idea in your mind that the ingredients that are in there will help your own skin create collagen. Would you agree? Otherwise that must be the route they're trying to go down. Otherwise why would they
I guess that's the idea behind it. And there is a sort of logic, because collagen is basically being continually built up and broken down by enzymes. And so the enzymes are sort of grabbing amino acids and slapping them in and putting other bits of bark. A bit like shop assistants in a bigger department store are continually taking down displays and putting new ones up. And enzymes work better in high moisture environments, so if your skin's dry, your enzymes aren't going to work so well. If you put some natural oils onto your skin, it's pretty well established that's going to improve the moisture content of your skin. It's got a moisturising effect. So, all other things being equal, if you moisturise your skin, you're going to get more collagen produced than if your skin's dry.
That's very weak.
It's not the strongest of stories, is it?
Because I was saying to you, wasn't I before, that if you're claiming that these natural oils are going to help your own skin create collagen, there's thousands upon thousands of products out there that could also be calling themselves Pro Collagen that also don't have any
Exactly.
collagen in, so that is quite a weak. I am surprised that hasn't been picked up really. Maybe clearly people like it because of its performance and skin feel. Hopefully people aren't out there liking it because they really do think it is going to make such a difference on the collagen production.
I think that the reality is that the skin is a very holistic thing, and the better you treat it, the better everything's going to be. So yes, you'll get more collagen, which will give you more elasticity, which will make it look fresher and brighter, and so on and so forth. So basically, it's just making the skin better would be a better way of describing it. But yeah, on the whole, I think both of these seem to me to be very good products. They both do what they say on the tin, even the Pro Collagen bit. I prefer the Clinique one from a formulation point of view. It's much more elegantly put together. I think that the branch ester and the polythene are going to give it a longer sort of life. It'll be more consistent from batch to batch, and I just think it's a superior solution. And also, as a formulator, I tend to respect people who get a lot out of a small number of ingredients, rather than people who throw the kitchen sink at a project.
So this will be interesting then. So if Clinique is the favourite from the formulator's perspective, how about I try them both out within the next few days to remove makeup and see what I prefer as a potential consumer perspective?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah?
Let's see how it goes.
Okay, so we know what our next video will be about.
Yep, and that's the other advantage. It means that we have another week of slaving over beakers in the lab and not having to go out buying samples for the Scoop on the Gloop series.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, thanks Samantha.
Bye.